I just need 2 minutes of your time, sir. Nope. Oh, got his attention. Are you getting mad because I'm not petting you? Okay, we good? Okay. Year after year, we watch celebrities get interviewed on talk shows. They talk about their new movie, their new relationship, but they're not talking about the one thing I know all of you care about, their rescue dogs. So we're changing that right now. Welcome to My Owner's a Celebrity. I'm excited to have a well-known animal lover on today. She's a TV host, producer, writer, and red carpet fashion expert. Welcome, Melissa Rivers.
Hi.
Well, thank you for doing this.
My pleasure.
How many dogs do you have?
I have 2 right now. I was raised with dogs. We always had 2 or 3 dogs. And so to me, it's just family. We were a dog family. I'm that lunatic that I'll take home any dog. And, I've learned I can't.
That's a really hard thing to get to.
Yeah. And in September, end of August, my son came home with something I said we would never have because it was too many links in the food chain, because he had fish and birds and turtles and, all that stuff. And he always wanted a cat. And I'm like, no, too many links on the food chain. I cannot spend my life going, oh my God, is the cat trying to eat the tank? Or the birds, or, oh God, why is the cat torturing the turtle? But he came home end of August and says, Mom, I need your help to get stuff out of the car. And I come walking to his car and he sticks out his hand and he's holding the tiniest kitten you've ever seen.
No.
I started to just lose my And then he goes, here, hold him. And it was like, okay, it's all over. And then I got COVID and Cooper went out of town. So Marty, the cat, and I were left alone together, except for the dogs who can't meet the cat yet, because the couple times we've tried, it has not gone well because my dogs have never been around cats. So we were basically locked together in a confined space. And, you've heard of Stockholm Syndrome, where you fall in love with your captor. That is what happened with me and Marty.
You guys suckered.
I am so in love with this cat. Cooper takes him up to school with him. When he comes home, I have all new toys for him.
Oh, you got totally suckered.
Oh, yeah. And Cooper got so mad at me because he would take him into his room and Marty was like, and he goes, you spoiled my cat. He doesn't even want to be with me. I go, look at where you live in college and look at my room. This is the penthouse in the Four Seasons. Why would he want to leave? I have the cat tower so you can look out the windows. I have the spinning electronic toys. I got it all.
Yeah, you did. Your son definitely suckered you in. You said you didn't want a cat and he handed you a kitten and left.
Yep.
You're a cat person now.
I swore I would never be a cat person. Now, my boyfriend is not a cat person at all. Like, he's like, I can't believe you brought home a cat. I'm like, neither can I. I'm not good with this. Well, he's only here until Cooper goes back to school. Now, when Marty comes home on vacations, like we just had him, he sleeps in the crook of my boyfriend's arm, between his shoulder and his arm.
Marty's converting all these dog people.
Yeah. And Marty's not, I like to think he's not like a normal cat. Like, he sits in the shower when you're taking a shower. You have to leave the door open and he sits right on the edge of the shower. And then as soon as you turn the water off, he comes and walks around. He's a character.
How are your dogs with him now?
We tried to introduce them twice thus far, and it has not gone terribly well.
Yeah, my dogs hate cats.
And we're going to have to figure that out, because it's also not fair to Marty to be confined to 2 rooms.
I'm glad my dogs would eat a cat. So my mom loves cats, though. But speaking of dogs, so tell me about you have 2 dogs, and I know you rescued them, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember are the adoption stories?
Iris, I got after my border collie passed, who was also a rescue. And I was devastated. It was like a month after my mom died. and I was holding it together and doing my best. And then Mike died, and I just unraveled. So I started looking online at different rescue places, and I see this dog, and it's near my house, and I go to meet the dog. I make the appointment, and I go and meet the dog, and while I'm there, I see this other one running around like an absolute lunatic. Like, so happy, having fun, running all around. I said, well, what about that one? And they're like, oh, okay, meet her. She came into the room to meet us and was terrified. We started giving her treats. The only person she would go to was my son.
And what kind of dog was she?
She is a German shepherd with something else mixed in, and she is huge. She is bigger than any female shepherd I've ever seen. She is huge. So we thought about it overnight, and we're like, okay, we're gonna pull the trigger on this. And I went to pick her up. She shot into my car like out of a cannon, and she was perfect. She had been very loved. The gentleman who had to put her up for adoption had to move in with his mother, who was elderly, and the place where his mother lived didn't take dogs. It was very traumatic for him, so he was very happy that she got it. She was dealt a really good hand.
Seems like it. So you have Iris, and then who's the other one?
Arnie, who was my special child. I found Arnie I thought I wanted the lab. So I was on lab rescue, and I see him, and he's super cute. And I talk to the people, and oh, he's great. I'm like, oh, okay. Introduced him. He was nervous, let's just say. We had him come for a weekend sleepover. Nervous, but lovely. Adopt him. Literally, as they drove down my street, the dog turned into a psycho.
You mean towards the other dog, or like energetic?
Everything. And not house trained at all. So I called him like, look, I can't do this. You know, I have a son whose friends are constantly coming in and out of the house. I can't, this is dangerous. They're like, okay, you know, can you drive him down, or we can come pick him up in, 4 or 5 days. And I was like, okay. And then, I sat down with Arnie and we had a conversation. I'm like, dude, you're blowing it. You're blowing it. And at the end of that week, he was a little bit better. I'm like, okay, we're going to give it a whirl. And we ended up having to bring in a very serious dog trainer who worked miracles on Arnie.
Good.
And I don't know if you believe in this or not, but we had to put him on Prozac.
My dog Tater was on Prozac, and it's the only thing that helped him.
Yeah, and Prozac helps him.
Good.
He's not aggressive. He's still really nervous. He does that thing where he only will stand on 3 legs.
Oh.
Some days he's all over you. The next day he'll be like skittish.
Tater was the exact same way, and he had my vet was like, I know this sounds crazy. He's like, but your dog is straight schizophrenic. Like he had to be on Prozac, and I tried to lean him off, and he would out of nowhere try and hurt people, and then be totally fine the next second. It's very similar, and Prozac really helped him. It's a big thing. People don't realize that this is a thing. It's real, and it's hard. What's he like now?
1,000 times better than he was.
I love that.
He's never going to be normal. He can't be anywhere without the other dog.
That's his emotional support dog.
That's what I say. I'm the only person with a dog who has an emotional support animal.
I did too. That's a really heavy burden for you to carry, though, and I, like I said, can relate a lot. People don't realize the burden you take on when you have a dog that has these severe issues. Most people couldn't handle that, and especially with how busy you are. It's a really big, honey bunny, come here. Sorry, there's another dog on the deck, and he's freaking. That's a really big burden to carry for you. Oh, here's the hound.
That sounds like my house, though.
It's okay. Come on. You're fine. Goodness gracious. What happens when you travel and stuff? Do you have someone that he's comfortable with to care for him?
My office is based in my house, so he is constantly around a lot of people. They're also, I have to admit, very spoiled. They're on their schedule. We go out the last time at 9:30. We start to get annoying at 6:30. We need to be out the door by 7. Arnie will eat whenever you feed him. Iris doesn't like to, she's such a princess. She's like, I don't really like to eat before 9. I like to peck at my food. It takes her an hour. She walks away. She comes back. She's like the full-on princess.
Do our rescue dogs realize where they ended up and how friggin' spoiled and grateful that I tell my dogs all the time, like, if you really remembered, you should be friggin' grateful. And they're not. They still act up and are little brats. And it's the same thing. My dogs just...
Everyone says they want to come back as one of my mother's dogs. Because hers were rescued.
Your mom did rescue as well, right?
Yep. I've never seen dogs treated like that in my life. And I want to actually touch on one thing, because people always say, did your mother leave the inheritance to the dogs? No.
Okay.
She left it to me and Cooper. But she did, there was a proviso saying that I had to financially take care of the dogs. And they went to her assistant, who was very close to them. I live in LA. My mom lived in New York. Her longtime assistant of 20-something years was just as bonded to the dogs as my mother was. And my mom made sure that all of the dogs' expenses would be covered through the rest of their lives.
That's amazing.
So every month I get the bill, I get the vet bills, I get the dog walker bills, and I still pay them.
That's amazing. Why is it so important to you to rescue and not buy a dog?
I think we don't put enough emphasis on helping the ones we have rather than getting new ones.
Absolutely.
And I think it's really important. Dogs have been a part of humans' lives since the Stone Age. And we treat them as family. And they are naturally our protectors. Nobody needs a purebred dog. Find one that's cute and funny and that you think will get along and get it. My heart breaks always for the older ones.
Yeah.
That just want a home.
I like them all.
Well, and then you're also giving a good life to maybe something that didn't have one.
Absolutely.
They all deserve to be loved. Dogs want to love us.
I don't know why.
Nor do I. At one point, I had my Border Collie and my Jack Russell at the same time, and I think Cooper was like 6. And people are like, you are a glutton for punishment. I go, no, I open up the back door, and the 3 of them exhaust each other. It's perfect.
I love that. That's a lot of dog.
And little boy, I'm like, go run each other and all of you into the ground, and all 3 would come up like, liar. It was perfect. It was built-in playgroup.
Before I get to say goodbye to you, what projects are you working on right now?
I have my podcast.
Okay.
Melissa Rivers Group Text.
Okay.
I have a show called Brutally Honest on a new app that's supposed to become a streaming service any day now, called Fireside.
I'm going to write it down.
Yeah. And I'm getting ready to start my next book, which would be book number 5.
Well, I can't wait to read it.
Thank you.
That's extremely impressive.
Oh, yeah. And trying to have a personal life.
Good luck with that. You sound like my mom and everyone, all the other women in my family. It's the same thing. It's nonstop, and that's extremely impressive. Well, I really appreciate you meeting with us and talking about your rescue dogs. And I can relate a lot with a lot of things you said. And it's really nice to know that there are other people out there that can handle the same crazy lunatics that we both are handling.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being with us and helping promote rescue dogs and sharing your story. And I'm very grateful that you met with us today.
It's been a pleasure to meet you.
You too, Melissa. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.